What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today we'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for PayPal holdings with the ticker symbol PYPL. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So on this channel, I only look at the charts because the charts are my reality. So last time I looked at PayPal was on Tuesday, and you can see that the earnings report came out on Wednesday, and it wasn't that bad, and price gapped down lower. Why did it gap down lower? Well, like I mentioned before, price was finding resistance. You clearly see that price stopped right over here. This is where the bulls were giving up. Stopped right over here. The bulls tried to break out. They failed. And they stopped right here again at the same level. Right before that earnings report, there was a good chance for it to go down. It could have broken up towards that measurement target to the upside. But again, this was resistance. So again, it's just a place to just wait and see what occurs. And you can see that price did gap down lower at the $63 level, all the way to the high 50s. So there's a huge gap right over here that can be filled, especially because it looks like we saw two legs down. So let me clear up the chart just to show you guys what I mean. So you see that the bulls made a prior large leg up, and then we saw a correction for a potential second leg up. But you see the target was not met. Reason being is that price was finding a lot of resistance at this level right over here, right about there at the 63.50. So we had one large leg drop in the past by the bears, and you can see that they made a second large leg down. So we can go and clone this, move it over, and you can see that's the perfect measure move target. Market generally moves in twos. So we had one leg down, we had a correction up, and a second leg down. Target met. Why did we bounce right at the bottom of this arrow? And you can see that it was a measure move target, and also price is finding support around the mid to high 50s. So we can draw like a box to just represent that balance in the market. So you can see that we're finding resistance at the 63, but we're finding support at the 57. So as right now, since we're finding support, this was a pretty large bounce on Friday. There's a good chance it can continue higher to fill in the gap because the measurement target by the bears were met. We are at support because price did bounce here in the past several times, and we have a huge gap that can be filled. So it looks like we are going to be advancing higher. I think there's a good chance of that. It's probably going to be coming back up to fill in that gap at the 63. And then let's see if we can break that $63 level in the future. But as right now, that's what I see. Looking it's still looking like it's not over. It can still continue pushing up higher as of right now. So again, that's all I have for PayPal. For that, let's take a look at a potential measure move target. So basically, since this target was not met, this becomes invalidated because we went below this prior swing low. So we can go and erase that. And technically, now all of this is just one large leg up. You can see that the second leg wasn't as large as the first leg, but again, that's fine because then the market just reset itself and made two large legs down. And we can go and clone this one, and that would take the next potential target all the way up higher to the $73 to $74 level. So that's where it's potentially headed if we see price able to break through that $63 level first. So it's not just like we're going to go there right away. We got to first break the resistance levels, find support, and then continue higher. So there's still a long ways to go, but that's a potential target out in the future. But as right now, it looks like we are in a range pattern. Price failed on the bottom. It failed at the top, and then it failed at the bottom. Now we're coming back in the range, or this green box is going to be probably filling in that gap and retesting that 63, potentially even break out this time. So that's all I see for PayPal on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, see if we can find anything else. You can see that price, let's draw a trend line. We're almost trying to push out of this trend line. You can see that we did see a breakout, but price got back down below this trend line. So in the long term, it's not looking that great. So short term, we could see a bounce up higher, maybe to the 63, but long term, we need to see price way outside of this trend line. It's still within the realm of continuing down because of this trend line. So again, that's just one thing though. The EMA is flat on the weekly chart, and we did have a large move up on the weekly. So again, we could see a second leg up take place. So that's what I see on the weekly chart. You can see that the downtrend is almost practically over by now. I'm not saying we won't go lower. I'm just saying like the major one is done because we had a downtrend channel right over here that got a break, and then normally you'll see two legs down to a new low or two pushes to reignite that downtrend. You see that this was the first large push, and if we go and clone this, you can see that this was the second large push. And the second large push is a combination of two smaller pushes. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll show you guys that right now. So this is one right here, and this is correction 2. So 2 small legs make one larger one. And that's where price bottomed out at the measurement target. So again, just measuring volatility, and you can see that if this was the prior volatility in the past, there's a good chance we can expect to see the same volatility in the future. Not guaranteed, but it's the expectation. So again, price is in a range. Since we're at the bottom and the target was met by the bears, there's a good chance we could see further upside, especially because we did see a nice green candle on Friday. So gives a good chance price can continue higher, probably towards 63, maybe even higher. If it can break out, I can look at the 73, 74 level as future price targets. So that's all I have for PayPal on the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.